I would like to introduce myself. My name is Deshant Chopra, and I'm the part of the Third Eye Techno Solutions Private Limited technical team. And as far as the webinars are concerned, we have been running many webinars since last few weeks. And in case if you have any doubt or any query related to any of the webinars, you can write to us. You can follow us on social media platform, or you can log on to our website www.3ets.in. Otherwise, if you have any business related queries, you can write to us and contact us. We will get in touch with you. So without further wasting any time, let us begin today's topic. So when we talk about a CDR, how can we define a CDR? Basically, it stands for Call Details Record, and it is basically the collection of transactions made over a telephone call, or you can say so. Whenever we are making a call, that is called one transaction. So whenever we are recording any telephonic conversation or any telephonic call, maybe a mobile phone or a landline, that collection of record is called call detail record. Now, why it is important? So I will take you back to 2001 when there was Parliament attack in India. So I would be talking about the importance of it from the investigation point of view. Back in 2001, there was a Parliament attack, and during the encounter, the cops, they found one mobile phone at the crime scene, after the encounter. So at that time, the mobile phone was a luxury. It was not a common entity. So the police officers, they seized the mobile phone and they tried to know, who is the subscriber of that particular mobile phone, so that they can further proceed with the investigation. So they went to the telecom operator, and it was at that time very difficult for them to find out who was the owner of that particular phone or who was the subscriber of that particular phone. But somehow they managed to know about it. And then that led to a breakthrough in the investigation of 2001 Parliament attack. So from there, the CDR has become a very important technique through which the law enforcement agencies they try to find out different types of leads when it comes to the investigation, whether it is an initial lead in an investigation or a concrete lead. It has helped a lot. So nowadays, what has happened? Everyone is having a mobile phone. Hence, whenever law enforcement agencies they start their investigation, they do it with the use of the CDR analysis. So that's what the CDR start. That's what the CDR is all about, and how it gains importance. So let us now understand what are the important information which we capture in the CDR. So basically, we will be having the person who is making the call, the record of that person, the number, and the person who is receiving the call, and the call duration, and other timestamps, other relevant data. So what is the importance of the CDR? So as I quoted you the example just a few minutes ago, it is important for the law enforcement agencies to investigate, and also it is very important for the telecom operators themselves, so that they can improve their services for the subscribers. And also for multiple businesses, it plays an important role. Okay, now coming straight to the evidentiary value of a CDR, what are the things which are required to find in a CDR when it comes to an investigation? So on the left-hand side of your screen, you can see there are a few pointers mentioned. So the most important thing to note is the location from where the call has been made. So the person whose CDR we are analyzing, and if we want to know the location, that is one of the most important investigative points. Other things are day and hour wise call data analysis. Like for example, if we talk about a person generally during the midnight hours or early in the morning. A person will be staying at his or her house or at a place where he's residing, maybe temporarily or permanently. So that would be the whereabout of the person generally. So in that case, day and hour wise call data analysis becomes very important. Now, the other important step over here is to talk about the mobile device used to make a call. So in the CDR, you will also have one of the components called IMEI number. So when I talk about the IMEI number, it's basically the unique identification number, which is used to identify a mobile phone. So IMEI stands for International Mobile Equipment Identity. So for every mobile phone, you will have a unique identity. In case if you are having two SIM slots in your mobile phone, then in that case you will see two different IMEI numbers because you are having a provision of making calls by using two SIMs. SIM-wise analysis is also very important, and we can also, track the movement of a suspect by plotting the location of the suspect or the accused. So that also becomes very important. And obviously, as I said, day and night stay of an accused is also investigated when it comes to the CDR. So these were the important points from the evidentiary point of view. Now let us look at what are the types of CDRs, like how many types of CDR do exist. So number one, as it is mentioned on the screen, it is mobile number CDR. So basically, it's an individual CDR. For example, if I am a suspect or a victim in any case, and police wants to investigate about my number, which is like a single entity, then in that case, it becomes the individual CDR or the mobile number CDR. Then we have something called tower CDR. It is also known as tower dump. So it is a collection of call detail records, which is directly associated with a tower, a mobile phone tower who exists everywhere in the city. So when we talk about the call dump of a single tower, so that is called a tower CDR, tower dump. So generally we use tower dump in a case when we don't have a specific information about an individual, maybe an accused or a victim. So in that case, we basically use the tower dump analysis. Then we have the IMA and IMEI CDR. So that is the CDR on the basis of IMEI number. So what happens? Say, for example, there is one person whose mobile got stolen. He goes to the police and he registers his complaint that his mobile has been stolen or he has lost his mobile. So in that case, the police can, ask the victim, please provide your IMEI number. So in case if the person would be having his or her IMEI number, he can provide that. There are various ways of finding out the IMEI number. Number one, when you purchase your mobile at the back side of the mobile phone, there is one sticker which has the IMEI number, or else you can dial star hash 06 hash by using the dial pad of your mobile phone. The way you connect a call, you have to dial this code. Again, I repeat, star hash 06 hash, and the IMEI number will be, displayed on your screen. So you can record your IMEI number for the future references. You should be aware of this number. So, that person can provide the IMEI number to the police officer, and then what police officer will do, the police officer will contact all the telecom operators, to find out if there are any hits within their database. Say, for example, if that particular stolen mobile is active and somebody is using it, then in the records of the CDR, the IMEI number will be available, and the other parties, as I said, that calling party, call party, will also be available. And then from there onwards, the law enforcement agents can track the person who is using the phone. The other type of CDR is called international gateway CDR. Basically, if there is any international number which is under the scanner of the law enforcement agency, they can again, contact the telecom operators all around the country, and they can ask, if they have any kind of record in their database regarding this particular number. If there is any data available in the within the CDR, then the police can, analyze the other components of the CDR, like the calling party, called party, and the subscriber of that particular number, and they can know which person within India is in contact with the international number, which is under the scanner or under the investigation. And other type of CDR is also called IP CDR. It is basically for internet call-based crimes. And in the end, we have GPRS CDR, which is basically used for bandwidth theft-based crimes. So these were the main types of CDR which are existing in today's time. So let us move ahead. Prerequisite before collecting the CDR. So this is for the law enforcement agencies. So over here, I would like to tell you that as a civilian, you cannot get an access to the CDR of any person, maybe of yourself also. You cannot get the access because this is a sensitive data, and we know that if you try to look into somebody's sensitive data as a civilian, then as per the Indian laws, Data Protection Act has also been started. So you are breaching that kind of a law. So it is confidential with telecom operators. They keep that database, but under special circumstances, law enforcement agents or the police officers, they can basically ask for the CDR from various telecom operators. And in general, they do that for the investigation purpose. So now, what are the verifying points, which one should keep in the mind when it comes to the collection of a CDR? So first, you have to make sure that your target number is accurate. So the target number means the number for which you really require the CDR. That should be accurate. Make sure that the concerned person is the victim or the prime suspect. Only then you should ask for the target number. And also the time period of the CDR is quite important. Say, for example, if there has a crime which has occurred, and the time period is for 3 months before and after the crime, so the police can shortlist a certain time period from the investigation point of view, and they can ask for the CDR. So when it comes for the telecom operators, I would like to inform here that earlier, like many years ago, it was compulsory for the telecom operators to maintain the call data records of every individual at least for 1 year. But during the investigation, the law enforcement agencies felt that 1 year is too short. Hence, now, as per the latest rules, the telecom operators are now keeping the CDR of an individual for at least 2 years. So the time period from 1 year has gone up to 2 years. So that is the thing which I wanted to share with everyone. And also, I would like to tell you the other point which is important is basically the telecom operator, that is the company, and from which circle that particular CDR belongs to, you have to make sure. So I would like to tell you that what is the circle. So in India, basically, geographically, India is a big country. So from the administration point of view, India is divided into 23 circles as far as the telecom aspects are concerned. So in India, there are 23 circles which are existing, and when you ask for the CDR, you have to make sure that you are asking from the correct circle. So to quote you an example, say for example, if we talk about UP, Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh is a big state. So in that case, UP West is an example of a circle. Similarly, UP East is an example of a circle. So when you talk about Delhi, so Delhi is a smaller state with regards to when we compare it with UP. So the circle would be smaller in size. So it would be divided in as per the district. So in total, there are 23 circles. You have to make sure that you should ask for the correct CDR from the correct company and from the correct circle. Now coming to the other point, from the subscriber point of view, there is a facility called porting. Now you can say, for example, if I am a new subscriber and if I have subscribed Airtel, after few years, if I feel that Airtel is not functioning properly in my area, I can now port my number from Airtel to Geo without changing the number. So that facility is called porting of the number. So when you are asking for the CDR, you have to make sure that whether that particular number has been ported or not. In case if you are getting a nil CDR, there is a high chance that a person might have ported the number from one telecom operator to the other telecom operator. And in the last, the other important point which you have to look into is to check the IMSI number, whether the person has changed the IMSI number or not. So what is IMSI number? Basically, it stands for International Mobile Subscriber Identity. The way we have IMEI number, which is a unique identification number of a mobile phone. Similarly, for a subscriber, the unique identifier is IMSI. That is called IMSI, which stands for International Mobile Subscriber Identity. Okay, now let's move further. Okay, so over here, I have just jotted down the process of requisition of a CDR. You can follow, you have to first decide what type of CDR you want. As we have discussed in the previous type, what are the various types of CDR. Then you have to decide the time period carefully. You have to check the company and the circle of the mobile number, right? And then you also have to check whether there was any intra-circle roaming arrangements were made or not. And then further on, you have to check the porting information, whether the number got ported or not. And for latest mobile codes, you can check the website www.gov.in as far as the latest mobile codes are concerned. On the right hand side of the screen, I have shared a sample legal notice which generally a law enforcement agency can submit it to the telecom operator for asking any particular number and its record. So this is a sample legal notice which I have shown you over here on the screen. Okay, now say for example, if the police or the law enforcement agency or the IO, they zero in on a particular number and they find that this particular number, using a particular number, a certain crime was made, then how can a police, find who is the subscriber of that particular number? So in that case, the law enforcement agency asks for SDR, that is called subscriber detail records, from the telecom operators. Now, the telecom operators, what they do is they will provide the details by referring to a form called customer application form. So this is nothing but it is a form which is generally filled by the subscriber at the start when he or she is using a SIM card or purchasing a SIM card. So in this particular form, one has to put his photograph or her photograph, his or her name, father's name, and other important details, including the ID of the particular person. So earlier, before there was a time when Aadhaar card was not existing, there used to be a lot of fake CAF forms and the SIMs were issued. But now, the things have started improving. And, because people are also entering Aadhaar card, so it is somewhat quite transparent in comparison to the previous times or the earlier times. So on the basis of the CAF form, a police officer can know the subscriber of a particular number zeroed in after the investigation. Okay, now we have talked about the CDR. Now let us look into one of the samples of the CDR, which is shown here on the screen for your reference. This is what a real life case CDR looks like. So over here, I would like to tell you that it is a sample of an individual CDR. It means that it is the CDR of an individual person. Now, I would like to tell you that there is no certain format or a specific format which is kept by various telecom operators like maybe Airtel, Jio, Vodafone Idea, etc., BSNL, MTNL. So every telecom operator will have a different format of storing the CDR. It is not compulsory that you may find the format of a CDR similar when it comes to multiple telecom operators, because it depends on the database design, the way or the format, the way the database is being maintained by the company. But one thing is for sure that these all components which is shown here on the screen will be there within a CDR. For example, in this particular CDR, the calling party, if you see the column called calling party, you'll see the only one number. So this is the number for which we have asked for the CDR, or you can say so, this is the individual CDR of the number which is mentioned as a calling party. So calling party can also be known as party A, right? So there are different jargons which are used in this particular sample. Other party is the number which got in contact with the calling party or the party A. So this particular column can also be known as party B or other party, etc. There are different jargons. So irrespective of the direction of the call, whether it was an incoming call or an outgoing call, with respect to the calling party, all the numbers are mentioned which were recorded. So if I talk about one row, this is one particular telephonic transaction or the mobile transaction, or this is one record. So over here you will have the date of the call made, and then you will also have the time, duration in seconds. Then you will have cell ID. Now, what is cell ID? Basically, a cell ID is nothing but the tower ID, right? So over here, cell ID is the tower ID through which you can know the location at the time when the call was made. Now, when we talk about the cell ID, I would like to tell you over here that cell ID is basically broken into four main components. The first component is called mobile country code. For example, in India, the mobile country code is 404 or 405. The first three letters of the cell ID will be the mobile country code. As I said that 404 or 405 is India's country code. So every country will have a different code. The next part which is there is called mobile network code. Now within India, which mobile network it is and from which area it is, so that is decided by mobile network code. Say for example, if, as I said that one of the circles is UP East. So in UP East, what is the mobile network code of Airtel? So Airtel UP East can be 60, example. So the next two letters will be the mobile network code. After mobile network code, we have something called location area code or LAN. So now when we talk about LAN, over here you will find that after deciding the circle, now within that particular circle or within that particular state, which particular district it is. So that is what the LAN talks about. Say for example, in Delhi, if there is one area called one district called South Delhi. South Delhi is one of the districts in Delhi. So the LAN will refer to South Delhi. So that's what it will be, and it will be a 5-digit number, right? And then in the end, we will have the cell ID, which will be having 5 digits, which will actually talk about the ID of a particular mobile phone tower. So as I said that South Delhi was one of the lab. So within South Delhi, if I say Okhla phase 1, A block or B block, there is one tower of Airtel. So that particular tower will have a unique ID. So when we make the entire thing combined, this is called cell ID. Now over here, you will see that you are having detail in first column as cell ID A, and in last cell ID, you will find that there are only certain entries, and mostly the entries are black. Now, what does it mean? It means that if there is an entry in last cell ID as well as in first cell ID, it means that at the time when the call got initiated, so the person was within the range of the tower which is mentioned in the cell ID, and the person was roaming. He was not stationary. And when the call got disrupted or got ended, when he got out from that particular tower range and he entered another tower's range, then that particular tower ID is basically recorded. So most of the things where you will find that in the last cell ID there is no entry, it means that the person was stationary while talking over the phone. Or you can say that if you have the entry in the last cell ID, then it means that the person was moving and he was out from one tower ID and he entered into the range of another tower ID when the call got ended. And the last step is call type, like what type of call it made. So basically, it is incoming call, INC means incoming call, OUT means outgoing call. That is all with respect to the calling party. So we are talking about the call type or the call direction with respect to the calling party. So when we talk about the second transaction, there are two numbers. One is the calling party and the call party, and it is incoming call. So it means that the calling party received an incoming call from the number which is mentioned over here, right? Which is 8875280476 in the third row of the sample sheet. So it is always decided with respect to the number for which we are having the serial. Then we have IMEI number. I have already explained you what is an IMEI number. So in case if there are more than one IMEI number, it means that for that particular time period or within that particular time period, a person might have used more than one cell phone. So if you get, three different IMEI numbers, it means that a person has used three different cell phones. And then we have the detail called IMZ, which is a unique identifier for the subscriber of the call. So these are the important things which you have to understand when it comes to the CDR. So let us move ahead. Let us understand the importance of the CDR. So as I said that it is very important from the investigation point of view, as it supports the law enforcement agencies with the investigation. It will also help in enhancing the network performance so that there is no call drops or there is no network congestion. So this is purely also important for the telecom operator operations. Then also to detect the fraudulent activities, you can identify the suspicious call patterns. It plays an important role. And then in the end, we have efficiency improvements so that the quality of the call from the telecom operator operations perspective, it is of high quality. So these are the major points which are important why a CDR is analyzed. Now let us see the components. I've already shown you a sample of a live CDR, how does it looks like. So we are going to have at least the caller number, recipient number, duration, the timestamp, the type of the call, and the location. And again, the location is decided on the basis of cell ID, or cell ID is also called the tower ID. Now let us talk about how can we analyze the CDR. Basically, to analyze this CDR, what we have to do is we have to use MS Excel. So I would like to tell you over here that if you are analyzing an individual CDR, one CDR at a time, then MS Excel is a very powerful tool. You can do a lot of analysis. You can do data visualization. You can get the frequency. You can, print dashboards, and you can do a lot of query handling by using MS Excel. I would also like to tell you over here that from the investigation point of view, when we talk about the police departments, they do have a lot of data coming in from the investigation point of view. Then it becomes a little bit, heavier for the MS Excel files to handle such amount of data. Hence, in that case, law enforcement agencies are using dedicated software designed especially to analyze the CDR. So in that case, MS Excel won't be able to fulfill the requirement of the analysis of multiple CDR. But when we talk about an individual CDR for a certain time period, then MS Excel can be used to analyze the CDR. So these are the steps. Data import. You can import the data. You may get the raw data of any format. You can import the data. You can cleanse the data. Make sure to remove the duplicate values. You look into the formatting of the Excel file and other relevant data. Keep only that data which is required for the analysis purpose. Then you can transform the data, into the usable formats. You can visualize the data, but basically that is you can print pie charts. You can print different types of histogram diagrammatic representation of the analysis. And in the end analysis, we can also develop statistical tables through which we can analyze the data. So these were the main steps which we actually use as a feature within the MS Excel to analyze the data. Okay, now what are the key things which I use specifically? Like over here, there are many things. It totally depends upon the format of a particular CDR, but at least for the basic things which are required, it is number one, the pivot table, and number two, the VLOOKUP. We do at least two things for the analysis in order to print the statistical tables. And the third one, I can also say that it's pivot charts for the publishing of the different histogram diagrams or the other forms of diagrammatic representations. Now, what are the benefits of the CDR in decision making? Basically, it can be data-driven decision making. That depends upon the analysis and the information you have found after the investigation. You can also detect the frauds effectively. You can also improve the resource allocation when it comes to the telecom operator operations, and also you can enhance the customer experience. How? If you are improving the quality of the calls, if there are no call drops, and if there are certain facilities available at even a remote location. So in that case, the customer will have a great experience, and you can enhance in improving the customer's experience. Over here, I'm talking about the telecom operator point of view. Okay, what are the best practices of CDR when we talk about it by using MS Excel? You should have a clear objective. What are the things you have to analyze within the CDR as per the case? Because every case will have a different challenge. Maybe in one case you may require the location. Maybe another case you may only require one number, whether the person has called the suspect once. Even that number can also play an important or a pivotal role. Then you have to standardize the format. As I said that, say for example, if you are working on different CDRs coming from different telecom operators, the formats will be different. So before you actually analyze the CDR, you have to standardize the data format so that all the formats coming from different telecom operators is under one umbrella after the standardization of the format. You have to regularly update and maintain the CDR so that it may be used in the future during the investigation. So regularly updating is also an important thing. Documentation, like you might have heard my colleagues talking about this forensics, that how important it is to document every step when you are performing any kind of investigation or maintaining the chain of custody. Similarly, you can also document what have you analyzed, how you have analyzed for the future purpose, so that when you are coming back to the case, maybe after a year or 2 years, you can refer to those records or document to understand the analysis points. And then you have to always collaborate with the stakeholders to gain different perspectives and insights. Okay, so what are the challenges in the CDR analysis when it comes to the near future? Large data volume, yes. As you know that everyone in today's world is having a phone, and the data is increasing. So it would be a large chunk of data which has to be maintained and analyzed. So this is one of the challenges. And another challenge is complex analysis requirements. So the evidentiary analysis point which I just discussed at the beginning of the session, those are not only the points. You can also make other analysis requirements as per the case. So there can be complex analysis requirements. So the solution for uh, that will come when we actually make rapid changes in the technology, the way the data is being stored, or as we are coming out with new tools with new features. So these things can provide the solution to the analysis requirements and the large handling of the large data volume. Other challenges are data accuracy and completeness. Yes, of course, the data should be completed. The data should be stored with completeness, and it should be accurate. And security and privacy, that is the most important point. As I was telling that, not every civilian can access the CDR records of anybody else's or his or her. So data privacy and security plays an important role. Future trends, in the coming time, the dynamic timeline and real-time analysis will be there, because as the data volume is increasing, it is not possible that you will get a lot of data and then you analyze. You may lose a lot of time in analyzing, large volume of data. So in the upcoming times, real-time analysis will play an important role. Big data analytics, yes, Hadoop and big data analysis, data scientists will play an important role from the analysis point of view. And people will start using the use of artificial intelligence and machine learning, to further analyze the CDR in the coming future. So as far as the theory of this particular session is concerned, I'm done with that. Now let us straight away jump to the practical of this particular CDR session. How can we analyze the CDR? I am having one sample CDR. You can see I've already discussed during the presentation how does the CDR looks like. I will just repeat. You will have a target number, the individual number for which you have asked the CDR for. Other party will be the party which got in touch with the individual number, the date on which the particular call was made. Time will be also showed, duration seconds will be showed. First cell ID will be there, which helps in knowing the location. Last cell ID will be there, call type will be there, IMEI will be there, and IMSI will be there. So now the first thing is, what analysis can we do? So to analyze the things, we should know, for example, the point would be which number was in touch with the target number and for how many times. That is the frequency. Now to do that, we have to use the Excel, and the feature is called pivot table. So you have to simply click this triangle and you can select the entire sheet, and then you have to go to the insert. After insert, you have to insert a pivot table. It will ask whether you want to insert a pivot table on a new worksheet or an existing worksheet. I will say that I have to do it on a new worksheet. So I will do it on a new worksheet because I want it on a separate sheet so that it doesn't get intermingled or mixed with the current raw data of the CDR. So I will take it in a new worksheet and I will name it as pivot table. Okay, so now the other sheet will be dashboard where I can publish the statistical tables which would be generated by using pivot tables. In the pivot table, we are having four sections. One is a filter, columns, rows, and values, right? And upper section is the field list. So we will be having all the important components. Like if you see, if I go back to this, the name of the columns, like target, other party, etc., you will be getting it in the field list. Now I have to find out, the frequency of the uh, other party, or you can say the called party or the party. So I will just simply drag and drop. You will see that once I do that, it will list all the contact numbers or all the numbers which were in touch with the party A or the target number. Now I have to find out, you know, how many times it got in contact with the number. So you will see over here, it's the count of the other party, means the frequency. So over here in Excel, if you go to value field settings, you can actually calculate a lot of stuff like sum, average, maximum, product, standard deviation, count numbers. Over here, since we know we require the count, that is the frequency, so we'll keep it remain as count. So over here, you will get the frequency. What you can do is you can simply select the entire thing, copy it, go to the dashboard, and paste it. Make sure that while you are pasting it, you are pasting it as a value. It means that I'll tell you it is called paste special. Basically, when you are copying and pasting, so during that, you are actually doing the copy and pasting of the formula, value, format, comment, validation, all the things. I will copy here on the dashboard as a value only, as I don't want to copy the entire pivot table. So I'll just copy it as a value, and then I can basically uh, just little bit. I can just format it. I can delete this, and I can delete the first row as well. And okay, now other party, it's a count of the other party, so I can say it as frequency, call frequency. Okay, so when we talk about the call frequency, over here you will see that we have all the numbers. You might find that there are some vague, uh, you know, alphanumeric numbers. It is all about the format. Make sure that once you are copying it, you have to format the cells. So I will go to the numbers and I will make it till, I will choose the category as a number and take it till 0 decimal places. So it will be taken as a number. Similarly, I can do this thing for the numbers as well. Now over here, there is another problem. We have to sort because it is a random thing. We want that uh, the number which contacted the target party maximum number of times should be at the top in a decreasing order. That is in the descending order. So for that, we will simply, uh, you know, sort the numbers. I will just make it big. There would be some garbage values. You can remove the garbage values or the blank values within the table. Also, we don't require the total. So let us select this thing again. And then once we are at home, we have to basically sort the numbers. So for sorting, there is one feature called sort. It will be a custom sort. It will be a custom sort as I want to sort all the numbers on the basis of the call frequency as a value from largest to smallest. And once I do that, you will see that this particular number contacted the target number, which is 8875109922. Actually, this is the CDR of this particular number only. So that is what it is. Like this particular number, that is 9828229934, contacted the target number 600 times. Now to validate whether my analysis is correct or not, I can simply copy this number and I can go to the raw CDR. I can do a control F and I can do a find all. Now you will see there are 600 cells, means this number is existing in the record 600 times. Hence, it means that our analysis related to the call frequency is this much only. It's correct. So you can basically calculate the frequency in this way, and as per the requirement, maybe if you need top 10 call frequency, you can do this. Okay, now coming back to the table, I would like to tell you that the other things which we can analyze is how many number of handsets were used. So again we are going to the pivot table. As I said that a mobile phone has a unique identity called IMEI number. So we can simply drag all the IMEI numbers. So once I drag, you can see there are multiple handsets used for this specific time period of this CDR when it was collected. Hence, how many calls were made? So you have to make a count of that as well. So I will do it as a count of that. So you can see that there were multiple handsets used during the call making process for this particular time period. Again, from the analysis point of view, I can simply copy it. I can go to the dashboard. I can paste it here. Paste it as a value. After placing it as a value, I can again, write IMEI frequency or number of call IMEI. I can say handsets used. And I can say over here frequency of calls made. All right, now let us think what are the things which we don't require, the blank things and the grand total, right? Again, you can basically sort it in a descending order by using custom sort. So custom sort on the basis of frequency of calls made from Z to L. So this is how it is going to be. Again, you can verify it. If you copy this, go to the IMEI and find all. You will get 2169 cells. There are 2169 calls made by this particular handset. Hence, our analysis using pivot table is correct. Now the other thing, sometimes weekday I'm talking about, this is a particular date, but the weekday is missing. Like, was it a Monday on 1st May 2011 or was it a Sunday? You cannot go to the calendar. It will waste a lot of time. You can simply insert one column on the right hand side and you can say weekday. And you can apply one formula. Like, there are many formulas to get the days, but one of the easier formula is equal to text. Then it will ask which value you want. I say I want 1st May 2011, comma. I will start this code and I will put DD and I will end this, and I will get the short form of the day. Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. Let us try the formula again. Yeah, so that was, so it was not picking up the formula. So you have to simply write text, and then you have to select the value, and then you have to write D four times, and then under those codes. If you want the short form of the day, you can use two DDs, and if you press the enter, it will give you one. That's a day one, right? Day one of the week. So I do DD, it will give me the name of the day as a Sunday, and I can call it as a weekday. Now you don't have to basically enter the formula for all the entries. You can see this particular on the bottom of this green label. You have to simply click twice, and then the formula will be carried on till the place where the data is existing. Hence, you can get the day like this. Okay, now the most important thing you would be wondering, how can I get the most frequent location, like for this particular time period, what was the place where the particular person was existing, or the most important place when it comes to the frequency. So for that, we again need to go to the pivot table. We can basically go to the cell ID A and the count of the cell IDA, right? So again, we will be doing the same step, copying it, going to the dashboard, and within the dashboard, we will simply paste it as a value. We'll make sure that the format is in number. Let us take it as a number till 0 decimal places. Hence, after that, again, I will go to the sort. It will be a custom sort on the basis of count of cell value and descending order. So this is, just give me a moment. Let us first remove all the blank values. Again, we are going to sort it. Okay, so to sort it, again the same step. So I was not able to recognize the total and the blank value. So I removed it. Again, I am doing the custom sort. Just give me a moment. I have to select the entire data. Okay, now I will do the custom sort. Okay, over here, custom sort values from Z to A, and I do this. You will see this is the location, where the person was while he was making the call. So this seems to be the place from where the person has made the call or received the call. Now you would be wondering, this is the cell ID. How can I get the location address? This is basically the unique ID of a tower. It is also called a tower ID. But how will I get the address of this thing? Because a number will not solve a problem, because that's a particular cell ID thing. It's a technical thing. How will I get the address? So for you, I would like to tell over here, it is that we have the different set of data called CDI data. So over here you will look. This is how a CDI data looks like. It is again maintained by the telecom operators. Over here you will have the cell ID number and its address along with the longitudes and latitude. So now you have to find out the address. You can basically first check whether this particular location is existing in the CDI data or not. You can simply go to the column A and find it, and hence you can see that there is a hit. Now, manually copying and pasting will take a lot of time. So for this, we have very important thing called VLOOKUP formula through which we can plot the entire address. So I will show you how we will apply the VLOOKUP formula. So before that, this will be the frequency, location frequency, I can call it. And I will call it as a location address here. Now the beauty of VLOOKUP formula is that I'm having two different Excel files. One is CGI and one is a CDR file. I can operate the VLOOKUP formula between two different files. How I will show you is equal to VLOOKUP. First, let us check the format. Just give me a moment. I think so. It has to be changed as per the format. Let us check. Yeah, so there's no format. I'll give it as a number because I've really taken it as a number. So now we can apply the formula is equal to VLOOKUP. Over here, it is asking for the lookup table, lookup value. So I am looking for this cell ID value. I will click onto this, comma. It is asking from which table do you want to pick up this value. So I will go to this file and I say that I need to pick up the cell ID value from this entire table. I've given this as an entire array of table, right? And again, after that, I will put a comma. It will ask, which value are you looking for? I'm looking for the address. So all the column numbers are mentioned over here. I have to get the column number of that particular value which I'm seeking, which is the address. I will give it as a 5, comma. Then it will ask whether you want the exact value or an approximate value. So I need an exact value, so I will write it as a false. So hence, when I enter it, see if the formula has been taken. But over here, because of the format, you have to convert it into the number. Once I convert it into the number, straight away from other file using VLOOKUP, I'm having the address. Again, you don't need to do it for all the things. You have to make sure that you give it as a number, right? You give it as a number, and then you have to drag and drop. The formula will copy. So it is a very old database. Basically, it is from the year 2011. So as the Microsoft Excel has made a lot of technological improvements and there are updates, so sometimes the format between different versions may get corrupted. But to counter that, you have to simply convert all the things into the number straight away. You have to select all, and then you can convert everything into a number. Once you do that, all the addresses will be published here. Where there is no NA, it means that within the database, that particular cell ID is not existing. So to verify that, let us see if, for example, this particular location, there is no address which has been, plotted from the CGI data file. I can just simply copy and verify. So you will see there is no head within the CGI file. Hence, might have not been updated. So this is how you can get the address. So this is the location of the target number where the person was and he made the maximum number of calls. So this is how you are going to plot it. So this was all about the analysis part. This was all about the analysis part. You can also do a lot of analysis on the basis of filters. For example, if I want to know calls made on the basis of time, so what I can do is I can just go to the other party. I will drag and drop all the numbers, and as per the date, I will put date as a filter. Say, for example, for a particular date, I'm looking for a call frequency, then I can go to a particular date, select these dates between 1st and 5, for example, and I do it OK. So you will get all the frequency between a certain time period. So you can build up the queries by using the pivot table. So, this was all about the session, and we have analyzed a lot of things. In case if you have any queries related to this session, you can drop the message over the Google Meet. I will get back to you with all the answers. Again, I say thank you very much for joining today's session. I hope that it was useful for your learning, and we will be back with another webinar next week with some other colleague and a new and fresh topic. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for watching the webinar. Subscribe to Third Eye Techno Solutions for more insightful webinars and content.